Okay, well, that one was running out. Anyway, we're going to finish up rock and mineral. I personally don't like bingo, so I probably bought this because my kids really wanted it and I was too busy buying games. They do like it. I find it boring, but I mean, it's nice to have the cards, and the rocks are fun to play with, and it was one way to get a lot of rocks for a little bit of time. So if I found it super cheap, I would probably get this again, but or not. I don't know. I don't like it, but they love it. So does that mean we should buy it for them? Of course we should, but only if we had a lot of extra fundage. All right, I did go back while I was taking that break and dig out the other games that I was referring to that I said I had more than. I realized I'd forgotten a lot of the actual science games that we were going to use, so I went back and found those for you. So we have periodic game of elements, and this one we did use last year for when we did 7th grade science with my other daughter, and it is great. You're actually playing on the periodic table. It's fun for groups, and some of the kids that we're playing this game with played that time too, so they're used to this game. It teaches all kinds of great actual science, so genius games again, and I would definitely buy this one even over like Genotype, as far as like the ease of playability and the concepts that are being taught. Subatomic, we played this also 2 years ago. This one has some of the history, as well as you're working with the particle physics and chemistry collide in Subatomic, a dual layer deck building game. So it's not memorable. So, I mean, we played a lot of games that year, but it was fun, and it will definitely fit the bill, and we own it. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Particles are elementary, strategies are not super long, not super complicated, but at this moment I can't even remember how to play. So that's not good, actually, when you think about it. Should be memorable, unlike some of the other games here. Valence Plus. This one is fantastic for younger kids and for middle kids. You're actually taking things and building new things: bisulfate, sulfuric acid, metal sulfate. But they're all ninjas. And you're matching colors so kids that can't read can still play. And I think that is fantastic. So yes, I love Valence. It is expensive for what it is, so I'm glad my school bought it for me. But we have played it with elementary school all the way up to high school. And so it has been a long used game. So, I mean, it lasts for a long time in the fact that it's fun, and it lasts for a long time in the fact that it goes through multiple ages. And it is really simple because you're just gathering cards, mixing them together to make things. So that is Valence Plus. Compounded, this one is definitely staying after all my homeschool games leave because I just really like it. But you're in the lab and you are collecting these fun plastic elements and mixing them together to make actual things. And you even have to build your little fire extinguisher. And the periodic table is your score tracker. And I just find it super fun. We played this a lot with the 7th grade class. It was easy to teach, easy to remember how to play. The kids enjoyed it. I have an expansion to make it a little more complicated if they ever get past the base game. But yeah, this one is brilliant. I really like it. And Energy Empire, this shows it's a worker placement where you're putting people out on the board to get different benefits. And in this case, it does go over some of the pros and cons of different kinds of energy: coal, green. It was made a little while ago, so some of this stuff is sort of updated information-wise, but I really like this game, and I think it does do a good job just introducing that concept, because you're trying to create that energy, but also it costs you something if you use certain kinds of energy. Some of them are weaker, some of them have more environmental challenges, and it's got some history as well. So great. I remember I said I had a lot of physics games. Well, here's 2 more of them, and you may have them as well. Physics is all about how and why things fall down. So we have Jenga, and we have Suspend, which are kind of mass market games. It means easily found at like your Target, your Walmart, your Fred Meyer, that kind of thing. Those are both really good for practicing and learning about physics. And then Junk Orbit, this is more on the fun category than the learning category, but there is an element of what it's like to have things go in space. And so you're actually flying your spaceship around, and everything is hard to store, but you're going around and you're getting different things. It's kind of funny and kind of silly, but it does have a few of those basic physics concepts. So I will put this in the fun pile. Fun for space unit, fun, a little bit of science. Wouldn't say that I would say, oh yeah, my kid learned so much science with this, but it was fun. Okay. Then the other thing we have, so Gravitrex is great. And then the other one that I really like are the Happy Atoms. And in this one, you're actually building three-dimensional atoms, and then you are taking pictures with an iPad and learning how they work in the real world. The one that I've used with my kids before, they actually figured out how to hack it. So you could download the app. I'm trying to figure out how to open you. You might be... Are you seriously? Oh, you're taped shut. Okay, so what happened was I had this through the school, and then I gave it back because my kids were a little bit, the older kids were older. And so then my sister found a copy of it to give to me. So I actually haven't opened this version, but we have used it quite a bit. And they have magnets on them that hold them together. And so you're building different actual molecules, and then you take a picture with your iPad, and it will go into recognizing them and be able to play a game with them and unlock things, and you'll discover like what those molecules do, all their properties, things like that. So that's kind of a really cool way. But then what my kids discovered, because they played it so much, is they're able to draw pictures, two-dimensional pictures with some of these, and build more complex things that they couldn't build with just this set. And we're able to take pictures and actually unlock new molecules pretending that they had the right pieces. So, but you have carbon, you have H2O, helium, no, not helium, hydrogen. Yeah, I'm qualified to teach this class. All right. So anyway, so yeah, they do have Android and iOS in this one, but the one we used was an iPad. So yeah, that one will be a fun activity that they will also get to do. And this one has, I think, more pieces in it than the one we had before. So they'll be able to do even more fun things and help with that concept. So as you can see, we have too many choices. Even talking to you, it's kind of helped me narrow down which ones I will probably end up using and which ones I won't be. I hope it helped you think through why perhaps Beth should use self-control when it comes to games. But also, I really hope it helps you figure out what might be useful for your goal. Like if your goal is to have fun and learn about animals or learn about the flora and fauna of your location, finding a game that falls into that category. Another one option is Cascades. Or if you're trying to learn about a different location or how animals work together, Alpha, but then also Roar is based in Africa, and you're actually working with prides of lions. And so you have these different opportunities to create this experience for the kids that will then whet their appetite to go look for more information. And then you have the actual straight up science games that are like science in a box and are helping with the concepts that they're going to need that were actually designed by scientists to teach science to children. And each one of these does come with that, like I said earlier, a workbook, or not a workbook, but like a booklet that explains the science behind what it is they're teaching. And I've even had my older children come back and explain the science to the younger kids that are taking it, so that I can kind of test the older kids, but also teach the youngers. So, yep, those are again, there are more physics games that we have, but these are the games that I am going through to decide what we will put on the list, what we won't put on the list. Obviously, there's a lot of days and weeks in the school year, so we could technically play all these games. But one thing I've learned in the years of school with games is that repetition does a lot to learn the concepts. The first time they play the games, they're just trying to figure out the rules. They're not really absorbing any of the science. And so to be truly successful, they need to play the game more than once. And so I try to pick a game and then have that game be for the month, since we're getting together once a week. And then the other times of the week that I'm not meeting with the group is when I would be playing other science games with my daughter, and then so that we can play them more frequently and get the concepts in us in a stronger way than just a surfacey slide across way. So my hope is to do at least one actual science experiment a month and 2 to 3 weeks of board games. And then if the board games, depending on how it goes, we also want to throw in randomly the taking apart of some kind of item so we can see what it looks like inside. We're going to dissect things, probably things made out of metal. And then also we have the option of using, so like say a VCR or TV, so we can see how it works. Toaster, how do they go together and how do they come apart? So get some more hands-on stuff. But this is what we're going to pick from. I hope it was helpful. I know this is super long, and I hope you have a wonderful time picking all the fun things for your kids, and all the goals that you have will be succeeded. If this was helpful, let me know. And if there was anything you want more information on, please let me know in the comments, and we will talk to you soon.